Okay, right now I'm encountering this issue and I've been doing some debugging. And as you can see here, if I try to play the game, uh, you would notice that if I try to play the game, you would see that the shuriken is not positioning itself correctly. And I think the best way to go about this is to go back to a previous version and without the game over scene. So let's try to see if we can revert changes. Let me try that out. Let me just test if this will work. If I revert changes, okay, so I think we'll have to discard all changes. But I want to go back to this part. Revert changes. What is that? Hmm. This is in the level. I am not sure what's happening there. The load, the game overseen. I actually deleted all of it. Then, so you see, I've deleted a lot of. I think I'll just close this. Try to see if we can go back to this version. Hmm. Revert changes in. I think that will take a lot of discard all changes. I go back and revert. Can we create a branch? Test branch. Switch branch. Discard all changes. And let's go to history. And let's create. This is going to be layer, a branch for testing. Test branch. Okay, so we already have a test branch. Where's that? Let's go back here. And now let's try to open that up in our. So hopefully this will bring us back to the old branch from where the player is able to shoot correctly. Okay, so you can see it's shooting correctly. And we still don't have the game over scene in this branch. So at least in that way, we can save some time. We can kill the, we can go and kill the enemies. So that's the beauty of Git version control. So right now, what I want to try to test out. So now that that's working, let me just go back to our Godot engine here and let's just create a new scene directly. Now we have a new scene created automatically once we click on that plus sign. Now let's try to go and add another node and the root node should be a canvas layer. So now we have a canvas layer. So now let's go and try to rename this into game over. So let's see if we go and try to save this. Can we go and save it? And we now have that game over that scene. And I'm going to put it in the scene folder and save. Let's go create a child node. And we want to have a label. So let's go and try to have a text here that says game over. Something common for games, we do have some text that would be signifying that the player has now died or some sort. Now let's go and move the center here. Let's scroll out. You can see a box there, and then we can try to get those two green options and move the game over scene to the center. Now let's go select the game over root node and click on the add child node here. Let's look for a button and let's do that twice and go back to game over button. Now we have two buttons. So one will be the retry and the other one will be our quit button. Save that. So now let's go try to move this button. Let's have that quit button perhaps here and the retry button. We want that to be, we can have quit retry and then game over. Let's have that. Can we increase the size of this? So layout, or we can just do that later on. But for now, we also want the overlay for both of those buttons to be covering the full screen. Let's test that out. And now we have create retry and the game over text. Okay, now let's go and try to, now that that's working, let's go select on the game over there, create a game over GD, snake case, and let's create that. And now we have a base game over script here or placeholder script. Now let's go and try to go to the button here and go to the node. And we want to have a, let's go try to click on press. So we want to signal that node pressed to the game over script. So let's see. Now we have that function auto-generated for us. So let's do the exact same thing here and click pressed, signal on the game over root node or canvas layer root node, which we are extending. Okay, now let's try to go and do some renaming here to try. And this one's going to be, let's see again. This is the quit button. So quit. And of course, we want to have this as the retry button. This one we want to say click press. One thing that you would notice here, if we did that, we might see that we have lost our signal. So let's have to go and let's see, connect on the retry button. This one, let's disconnect that. And in here, we might want to, because on button press, we want to disconnect that. Then again, we want to connect on quick press for the quit button and for the retry button on retry press. Now let me just go back to this main menu scene and let's have this scene here and let's just copy that. So we are going to the scenes folder level 1.tscn, which is the world scene, and we're just changing scene to fab. And if you remember in our main menu, we also had that get quit. Let's go back here. And that's the one that we'll be placing in our quit script. Now what we need to do, if we try to play this, I think this will still not work. So we do have the quit, it does work. And for the reply, it does bring us to here, but we haven't yet died. So if we go back here and it's moving us towards here because we don't have a script yet from where the player does die. Now let's have to go get the. So we want to go back to game over GT. Let's go get this level 1 here. Go back to player GT. We have here the handle enemies collision. And instead of this one, or I think I forgot that. Let's try that out if that will work. And let's stop that. We play. We can fire the shuriken. And now we have a way for us to kill the enemy. And if we get a collision with the enemy, what's going to happen? It's getting us here, but it's not loading the scenes level 1 TSCN. Why is that happening? And I think that's because we're changing it to level 1 instead of the game over TSCN. Let's try that out again. And let's see if this will work. Then let's go die. I think I need to reposition one enemy to get closer. And if we're not dying, why is that? So again, that's not working. We just want to go to scene, game over scene. Hmm, that's not working. And I think that's because we did not use the actual path name. Let's try that out again. Okay, let's move a little bit for the playtesting. And move, and then jump again. And and we now get to go back to, and I think this is much more cleaner than the previous approach that we did for dying and having a retry button. This was much more cleaner. What happened there? Uh, why did we go back here? So let's see. Play. And let's see. We should now be able to go back to the. And there we go. We do have that. We can quit. And we can. So some playtesting. But that did get to help us out transition to the game over scene. If we try to retry, what would happen? I'm just doing some testing here. And okay, so I think it's working now. What happened earlier? That's one, just for testing purposes. And then two, and I think that's good. So perhaps we can stop there for now.